Hi Posh fam, welcome back to my channel Posh Cat Eyes Unfiltered. We've got episode 11 to recap today and unpack. For first things though, I would like to say something, and that is, if you are just new to watching Married at First Sight for the first time and you're beginning to find it a little bit uncomfortable, hold off a minute. I would explain something to you. You are justified in feeling the way you're feeling, and that is because the premise of this show is to exploit the vulnerability of these contestants. And you're going to find out why I'm saying this today. My focus is basically on Shannon and Caitlin. Now, Caitlin, when she was interviewed for the show, her focus or her storyline was that she's been in situations where she's had bad guys who have treated her poorly, unkindly, and unfavorably. And so the reason for her choosing to find love on Married at First Sight is that with the experts, with a combined 60 years expert experience, they will be able to break that chain of her misfortune in meeting bad guys and help her find a perfect match for her. Now, what did producers do with her sub-story? They exploited it. And from here on now, whatever you see on the show, just take it with a pinch of salt. It is trash TV. I've said that before. But then again, it's got us hooked because it kind of takes us out of our own misery and teaches us a little thing or one thing or two as to how to find and build healthy relationships in our own everyday lives. Let's get into the recap of today. Some quick gentle reminders, guys. Please subscribe to my channel and make sure you comment and like. And thank you to my new subscribers and existing subbies. I appreciate the effort and the support. Do appreciate and thank you. So we dig in, and as you know, intimacy continues with Alexandra Rampolo, the clinical sexologist. Her aim is to bring these couples closer, quicker, and enjoy romantic and build romance in their relationship. We all know some of these relationships are not going anywhere fast, but then they have to give it a go. The show must certainly go on. First off, for the challenge or intimacy challenge, tonight is Duncan and Alyssa. Now, Duncan is a very beautiful man. That's all I can say. He's so beautiful. He is wanted by everybody at this point. Now, he has set off to impress Alyssa with a dinner platter-like date. And Alyssa, on the other hand, seemingly is unable to concentrate on what Duncan is cooking, but more so on Duncan's physicality. The sexual tension is definitely on the rise and increasing. Although Alicia's Mormon background is sort of holding her back to explore the sexual and intimacy or romantic side of their relationship, she is willing to give it a go today. And I guess there's no better time than this week of intimacy to actually get things started. Now, the platter and the dinner date went superbly well. You know, conversation between these two is quite easy and it just flows seamlessly. You know what, Duncan and Alyssa, I haven't got any vested interest in any relationship this season. I hope you guys do surprise us and go the 9 yards, because yeah, there's something that's beautifully happening between these two, and I just hope it flourishes. Now we move on to Melissa and Josh. Now, we all know from episode 10 that these two, ended their intimacy. Should I say, it didn't even kick off properly, but it all ended in a verbal, bust up. They could not stand each other. Words were traded. According to Melissa, she needs more sex than actually intimacy. And Josh is like, I really would like to explore what intimacy really means without sex, on the table. And from this scene, you can actually see Josh exploring the goodie box that was handed to them by Alexandra, whilst Melissa was just reeling and dying in silence, watching the TV and just shaking her head. I guess the lady's on, it's on heat right now. I don't know what's going on there. She looks like she wants to just climb and grab that guy and just drag him straight to bed and just, I don't know how to say this, but yeah, her whatever is going through her head, it's definitely not PG rated. That I can tell you. I can tell you that much. Now, Bronte and Harrison, these two, last night, it didn't end well for them. They both left within 5 minutes of coming into each other's space, in a heated word exchange. And apparently, the issue of Harrison writing leave, rubbed Bronte of the wrong way. And we could see Bronte, rather, waking up and also, again, not seeing the idea of all that has happened between her and Harrison. She's struggling to find a sweet spot for this guy. But she's willing, yet again, to give it another shot. And we can see her walk into their apartment, which she is no longer staying at, to have a chat with Harrison. I was literally holding my breath because I was like, I can't watch another verbal matchup between these two. To my surprise, guys, it went really well. They both called a truce, with Bronte expressing how she feels and Harrison, for a change, actually listening to her. And I'm like, wow, I don't know how this truce is going to last. You and I surely know it's not going to last. But guys, keep it going. Hold steady. Keep it going. I want more of this. This is what I like to see. And it led to a success of this conversation, led to them having to, have a go at one of the challenges. And they successfully completed the challenge, guys. They successfully did. So this intimacy challenge was for them to do the eye gazing task, where they had to stare into each other's eyes for 5 minutes. At first, it was just giggles and talking, but they successfully completed the task. And bravo, Harrison. I'm actually giving it to you because we all know who you are. We all know how you act. And you just putting all of your, naughtiness aside and taking on this challenge is quite impressive. It's early days, guys. I don't see this lasting. I don't see this truth lasting as usual, but it's early days and I'm going to call it for what it is. Good luck. You guys are doing amazing. We are moving on to Melinda and Leighton. And guess what, guys? With Claire, Leighton is a very good businessman. He's very business savvy, but when it comes to domestic affairs, that's not his thing. He is not about to be domesticated, y'all. And we can see that real quickly, the toasting machine got burnt or thrown out somewhere. I'm not sure how that happened, but according to Leighton, with his narration, he was trying to lit a candle and it ended up, having to involve the toasting machine because they've got no lighter or they've got no match. And he tried to engineer a paper with a knife. How that was possible, it was just a mess. Safe to say, we shouldn't let Leighton in the kitchen anytime soon. We might need to have to call the fire brigade, guys, and we don't want to do that. Okay, the Sky Lounge is still very useful to the Married Affairs side production team. We don't want to burn it down just yet. And so Melinda is still struggling to, get ahead or see Leighton just complete a challenge without it having to be a little bit, tedious for him. Well, again, she is a little bit uncomfortable and she's got a few things to say about where the relationship isn't at. And she's like, Leighton is not serious, not taking this relationship seriously. I don't know what to do. Well, Leighton is saying, I beg to disagree. I am giving it I'm giving it a good hard crack here. Give me a break. Well, one of the intimacy tasks for them was to do, again, the eye gazing. And I am not sure if Leighton was in on that eye gazing. He did try. He gave it his best. But of course, Melinda wasn't impressed. And she got upset and was like, well, when you make this relationship a priority, let me know. I kind of felt bad. There's also a second task about where they have to, I don't know, kiss, have share a romantic pash. And we're going to get back to how that went. But first things though, now this is a very uncomfortable narration for me, but we're going to get into the good part of the narration, and that is Kathleen and Shannon. Now these two, we all know where they are at. Shannon is still in love with his ex-girlfriend as outside. He did try to make a good impression this week, given its intimacy week. And we could see that he tried. He started off by, getting some candles lit organizing a pub style Irish dinner for Kathleen, which is her favorite. He also got a symbolistic plant that would symbolize where the relationship is at, and they are both going to, put put things to work. Like they're gonna invest with the plant, meaning we'll try and nurture the plant, and as we nurture the plant, we're basically nurturing our relationship, whatever that means. And again, to his credit, he gave it a good hot crack with this dinner intimacy challenge organization. He did a good job. She was impressed with what he did, and they ended the night with Tom Cruise movie on the couch. And obviously, I don't know what happened from here on out. We do know that the happiness is short-lived, and it is quite unfortunate for Kathleen. She cannot catch a break. Over now to Jesse and Claire. Surprise, surprise, guys. These two are still going strong. I do not want to, spoil the juju or, place any, whatever sage Claire has got going on is really working. So keep it up, Claire. That sage is really a good one. They are still in good terms and trying to do things together. And Claire, the cheeky girl that she is, has decided, okay, I'm going to challenge Jesse yet again. They are still living separately, mind you. I guess it's a slow step that they have to take. And what they are doing for today's challenge is Claire is taking it one step further to introducing him to her spiritual side. We all know one of Jesse's icks is crystals and astrology chicks. And this is exactly what Claire is about. And so Claire is saying, well, if you want to get to know me, you have to love what I do. And she invited him to a crystal shop. At first, Jesse, you can see Jesse's face. It wasn't exactly too keen or pleased, but he gave it a crack. And that's one thing I think I like about him is he will definitely put in the work. And if it's not for him, it's not for him. And true to form, Jesse embraced the crystal store visit, even chose the crystal for himself, and they were there for a while. They both explored, the gemstones that were at the shop, and I was really surprised. He really was not bored. He didn't show any sign of distress or irritation. He took it well, and they both left the store very happy and with smiles on their faces. I am really surprised. Again, I'm not jinxing it. I don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know with these couples in this show. But we're just going to follow along and express all of their joy as well as the disaster. So, just as Leighton and Melinda have refused to take on the kissing challenge, Duncan and Alyssa, on the other hand, have given this a red hot crack. As you can see from this photo, it is on. The tension between these two, I cannot describe. It's safe to say that there will be more happening between these two tonight, I guess. The kiss followed a deep body massage. I cannot tell you. From my vantage point, Duncan is, absolutely smashing it. And Alicia is very, very pleased. And Jesse and Claire have decided they were going to, further advance in their relationship by moving back in together. You could actually see Jesse saging the entire apartment. Like, Jesse, sage in one sentence. Who would have thunked it? Certainly did not think they were going to be coming this far this quickly. But miracles, they say, do happen. Now, the fact that Melinda refused to take on the 5 minutes kiss challenge, it did not deter Leighton from organizing a dance lesson for them. And yes, it didn't go off as planned because Melinda needed to know where they were going to. Like I said, these two are very much headstrong and they want control 100%. Eventually, about 2 hours later, they arrived at the dance studio, and safe to say they had the time of their lives. Really good to see these two just have fun and not think things too much and just go with the flow, because again, they live very busy, hectic stressful business life. And so just a break from their normal routine, will do them good. As Duncan and Alyssa consummate their relationship, over at Kathleen's and Shannon's apartment, it is chaos, and we're gonna get right into it. Now, the eye-gazing challenge for Kathleen and Shannon started off well, but then as soon as it ended, Shannon turned into a monster. Now, for this guy, I just feel like whatever shit he is smoking, once he wears off, he turns into a nasty human being. And it is crazy how you can let such a human being in the space of women who are vulnerable, who are meant to be protected and looked after. Well, this is exactly what he said. I don't think there's a physical attraction anymore. I am not physically attracted to you. It's taking you 4 weeks to realize this. Why didn't you say it when you said you were in love with your ex? Well, it got better because he said, I had in mind that the person I was going to be walking down the aisle was going to be stunning and beautiful. And it wasn't you. You are not stunning to me. You're not beautiful to me. You are a beautiful girl, make no mistake, but you're not to me. And that is why the situation with my ex, came up. If you were hot and beautiful, the situation with my ex would not have come up. So basically, Kathleen, the reason why I'm going back to my ex is because you're not good enough to take her place. That's exactly what Shannon said to Caitlin. Caitlin just broke down. And I do not know where the production crews are or who is recording this to, and seeing how this girl is being shattered to pieces from all angles, and they just sit there or record this and just take it all in. Well, Caitlin had the last word. As soon as she was able to get herself together, she literally had the last word and told Shannon, I am going to have the final say, and you are just going to shut up and listen to what I have to say. She's like, I have taken a lot of insults, a lot of degrading from you. Not anymore. I know my worth. Coming into this show, I told myself I wasn't going to be walked over or be put to the side or be put down, and I've let you do that to me. And I forgave you the first time. This time, I am taking power. And I will not sit here and cop all this physical, emotional abuse. And so she walked away. And I hope she's walking away never to come back to this guy. It gets interesting, guys, because from what we're going to be uncovering in tonight's episode, it looks like Shannon invited his ex-girlfriend and his daughter to the Sky apartment. I have got no words. But I cannot wait to unpack how this will unfold, because this singular act where Shannon brought his ex and his daughter onto the experiment sees one couple, Lyndall and Cameron, having their first fight. And I probably think that this is where it begins to crack and end for these two. We will unpack all that will be transpiring at the second dinner party in the episode that will be airing tonight. I hope I can come on here and run the commentary as soon as it airs. Otherwise, I might just wait a couple of days, gather my thoughts together, get all of my normal activities going, and then give you a recap. Until then, guys, please stay safe and be focused. Thank you for watching.